Hi everyone, welcome. We're going to wait a few minutes before
Hello,
we
everyone.
start, but just to say we'll introduce ourselves and then we'll wait a couple of minutes till everyone starts. My name is Ben Roberts. I'm the lead for the taught master's programs in the Department of Archaeology in Durham. And for the last 10 years, I taught on the Museum and Artifact Studies program and directed it. And I also teach on the MA Archaeology program. I'm a Bronze Age archaeologist as well. And I'm joined by Inish. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. My name's Inish. I'm doing an MSc in Forensic Archaeology and Anthropology. So if you've got any questions about the department in general or my course specifically, I'm here to help.
So the way this evening's going to go is that we have a short presentation from myself on the broader department, so 10 minutes or so, and I'll go fairly quickly because I think a lot of you know this, just an introduction to who we are and what we do on the master's courses. Inish has a short presentation on her student experience, and then we'll spend about 45 minutes or so taking your questions. Right. Otherwise, I'll give a short presentation just to say sort of what we do and who we are. And then we'll have here Inish's and then we'll take a few questions. So I'm just going to share the screen. Right. Inish, can you see that okay?
Yes, all good.
Yay. Cool. Okay, so welcome to the Masters and potentially PhD, if you have questions. Introduction to Department of Archaeology at Durham University. Dr. Ben Roberts, and I am the Director of the Postgraduate Studies here at the Durham Archaeology Department. And I directed, as I said, the Museum and Artifact Studies MA for about 10 years, taught on it. And before that, I was a curator at the British Museum, and now I work a lot on the MA Archaeology. So, for those of you who've not been to Durham, it is a small, beautiful city in the northeast of England. It is on a World Heritage Site, and you can see the castle and the cathedral up at the top. It's a top-ranked university in the UK. It's a collegiate university, so you would all be members of a college. Think of a bit like Harry Potter, to be honest, and it's not that far away. It's small, it's friendly, it's a lovely place to study, and there are societies and facilities and sports and hobbies for everyone, as well as top-ranked archaeology departments. Now, the archaeology department itself is right in the center of campus. That is our building here, which we share with anthropology. It's right next to the library. It's right next to geography, chemistry, and law, and the vice chancellor's office. That's the head of the whole university. We are the top ranking department of all departments in Durham University in the world. And as such, the university invests very generously in us. At the moment, we're having a whole new roof put on the building, and almost all of our laboratories and teaching spaces have been refurbished or are being refurbished this summer for your arrival. So a big multi-million pound refit. We've got a very strong international reputation, a lot of breadth and depth, but we are very friendly and very informal. Archaeologists are generally a very diverse bunch, ranging from people who started in physics and maths to people who come to us from art history and philosophy and everywhere in between. Very, very diverse, very informal, very passionate about what they do. Now, in terms of the scale of the department, you're joining maybe over 550 or so archaeologists in one building with anthropologists as well. So typically last year, our entry was 106 master's students. We have 35 academic staff, but also note the numbers of PhD, postdoc students, technical staff. This translates to a huge community of archaeologists, very, very different types of work going on across the whole world. And that's a lot of seminars, project launches, reading groups, visiting speakers, all sorts of things going on that we are really keen for you to join in on above and beyond your classes. So you can learn a huge amount from turning up to all of these particular interest groups. Now, there's a lot of rankings in university world. One of the most important is the REF one for research in the UK, ranking all departments. Durham came second in the last one, which was in 2021, and we came second in 2014. It's every 7 years, and first in 2007. So we're consistently either second or first in almost every ranking system of research. And what this means is that you are being taught by the leading experts in their field, and these are internationally recognized experts. Why this is important is that a lot of our competitors will have superstar professors on their websites, but not necessarily in their classroom. And I just want to highlight that this is something that we actually certainly are keen to avoid. Now, world rankings. Quite how these world rankings are put together is always slightly a mystery to me, to be honest. But we're apparently slightly better than Stanford and slightly worse than Harvard. Who knew? Either way, Durham is a top-ranked department in the world. It's top 5 or thereabouts. I would highlight that we actually host the journal in which the others publish their big discoveries in antiquity. We also write the textbooks that they use. So we're one of the top-ranked departments in the world consistently. Now, most importantly for you guys, you can look at our employment statistics, and 93% of our MA and MSc students are found to be in full-time employment, full-time further study, or a mixture of both 6 months after graduation. Now, where you go is going to vary a lot according to what master's program you do. If you're going into forensic archaeology and anthropology like Inish, you're likely to have a different career path than, say, the people that I teach in MA Archaeology or used to teach in museum and artifact studies. You're getting very different training in very different kinds of industries and career paths. But we have a very, very strong focus on employment, and it's something that we can certainly talk about. As I mentioned, a lot of our teaching and research spaces have been refurbished extensively, lecture theatres, laboratories, etc. We have a brand new digital lab with all sorts of digital toys for those of you interested in anything from drones to incredibly high resolution cameras and 3D modelling equipment. We have a wide range of laboratories, the only department in the world, I believe, in archaeology to have its own DNA lab. But isotopes, osteology, environmental materials science, thermoluminescence, you name it. We are one of the few departments in the UK to have our own in-house commercial unit who work entirely in the commercial archaeology sector. We have a fantastic library and lots of study spaces. Now, as I mentioned, there's a whole thriving set of seminars, project launches, reading groups, etc. in the department, and these frequently are under the umbrellas of our research groups here, which bring together people with very different kinds of perspectives on the past, but under certain themes. But equally, there are centres that combine all sorts of different university departments in which archaeology plays a leading role, such as cultural heritage protection or ancient Mediterranean, the Near East. They also run seminars, they also run conferences, they also run all sorts of events. And again, please do get in touch with them, go to their events, and you can learn a huge amount. A lot of fun. Now, the master's programs that we offer are listed here, and I'm going to go through each in turn. The main thing I want you to take away is the director of the course, because if you have any specific questions over the summer on your course that you're interested in, then you can email them directly. And I've put their email up there. They would love to hear from you. They can give you advice on anything from module choices to work placements to careers to any summer reading. You want to go to the beach in the summer and have some really hardcore academic reading? Fine, we'll send you some. Not a problem. So entry requirements, you probably know, a 2-1 in a degree or GPA 3.3, English language, IELTS of 7 with no element below 6.5. And again, the program director is someone to talk to. The structure of the MA and MSc is about 180 credits generally over a year. Each module is about 15 to 30 credits, with 60 to 90 credits for the dissertations or reports. Now, no one has yet really complained about the absence of work in the master's courses, and Inish can certainly comment on that. These are intense programs, and nearly everyone finds them a lot more work and a lot more intense than their undergraduate studies. A lot of students are coming from outside of archaeology, which is absolutely fine. And that also means then that you're learning a huge amount from each other as well as from us as well. We do encourage you to have holidays at Christmas, at Easter and the summer, but essentially you're going to be working hard through from October to early September when you actually submit your final dissertation or report. Now, MA in Archaeology, we have someone here for that in Alex. Dr. Kamal Badrashani is your man. So this is a very broad master's program in the sense that it has a lot of different strands, which are options for you to focus on. Whether you've come from archaeology or not, whether you want to develop an advanced interest in a particular area or get a real understanding of a particular approach like landscape archaeology, the MA Archaeology is it. This encompasses many, many people in the department, and because of our breadth and range, we can offer all sorts of teaching opportunities and learning opportunities for you. So email Kamal for all sorts of details on those opportunities. For those of you interested in my old masters, the MA in Museum and Artifact Studies, Dr. Mary Brooks is your contact. She works alongside Professor Robin Skeets, but also our two fantastic university museums with their extensive curatorial team. That is the Oriental Museum and the University Archaeology Museum. There are different routes through this master's, and again, for more detailed understanding of that, feel free to email Mary. For those of you interested in conservation, Dr. Emily Williams is your contact. Do note that this is a 2-year, not a 1-year MSc, with the second year spent on placement. So this is a very intense master's program and has a whacking 96% employment rate in conservation roles. It is one of the globally recognized gold standard conservation programs. For those of you interested in the MA in International Cultural Heritage Management, this differs from the museum studies side of things. Museums are much more about objects and the buildings in which objects are displayed and how you engage people in those objects and the past. Whereas this program is much more about the landscapes and the buildings and the people themselves. And this is exploring both tangible and intangible cultural heritage principles, practices, and policies. We are based on a World Heritage Site. It is directed by Dr. Sien Gao and Professor Robin Cunningham, who's a UNESCO Chair of Heritage. And this is really designed to produce heritage management professionals who go and actually start managing cultural heritage sites and projects. The MSc in bioarchaeology is very much around human biomolecular and environmental archaeology. You can choose one of these options. And we have a wealth of experts and fantastic facilities to highlight whatever interest you're particularly interested in. If you're interested in skeletal analysis, the MSc in Human Bioarchaeology and Paleopathology may be the one for you, directed by Dr. Claire Hodson. And this is really about understanding the human past more broadly through skeletal analysis. Allied to this program is the MSc in Forensic Archaeology and Anthropology. This is Inish's program. This is an innovative MSc, unique in the UK in terms of its strong international humanitarian focus and the research excellence at its core. The director is Dr. Daniel Gaudio. He does smile a lot. He's a lovely guy. Unfortunately, the only picture I could get of him was looking a bit grumpy. Anyway, that is enough from me. What I'm going to introduce now is Inish, who has her own presentation, which I'm about to load up. I will be her slide assistant. Just a short one on the museum experience. Okay, over to you.
Okay, hello everybody. As I said, I'm doing an MSc in Forensic Archaeology and Forensic Science. So not really so much working with bones. I had one module in Forensic Anthropology and that was it. And I also did a placement at a museum working with bones. So that was kind of my way into this world more specifically. And I really liked it, so I wanted to pursue it. Next slide, please. Thank you. So why did I choose to do this degree in Durham? Well, first of all, the degree I chose because I loved working with bones and I just wanted to carry on and pursue that passion really. So I just decided to do this master's. Durham in specifically is because the department's got a lot to offer. It's number fifth in the whole world for archaeology, which is great. And we're being taught by some of the best lecturers in the world, some internationally known, as Ben mentioned earlier. So really good lectures. And we also have really good facilities. One of the things I really like about it, this master's in specific, is the access to the bone lab, which the human bioarch and paleopath will also have. So you can access this lab whenever you want, even on weekends. They ask you not to go after, not to be there after 10 p.m. because it starts to be a bit late. And if you're there after 6 p.m., you have to sign off in the sheet at the entrance that you're there and when you leave. And they also ask you for you to be with somebody else. But other than that, you can access it whenever you want, which is very good thing to have because you've got so much to learn in that period of time. It's good to be able to go to the lab whenever you want, really. Next slide, please. Thank you. In what comes to the Department of Archaeology, I think it's a really good department. Everybody around me is very friendly. There's a good sense of community and everybody is very supportive. There's constant events and seminars and things happening. They either start outside of the common room and then they brought to the common room for like coffee and more of an informal chat. We can ask questions to the people that have been giving the seminar or even anybody else really. So it's very good. There's a very good environment at all times. I really like it. I think you probably like it too, really. Next slide, please. Um, some of the things I like the most about my course are the fact that it's allowed me to expand a lot of my knowledge in osteology, forensic archaeology, forensic anthropology. So I've managed to learn so much in this last since September. Really, it hasn't been that long. Time went by really fast, a lot faster than what you think when you're starting, really. Um, it's also allowed me to develop a lot of general skills, which any masters would really, I think, like writing skills, communication skills, team working skills. So all of those general things are much more developed during the masters. As I said before, we're being taught by really good lecturers, really top experts in the field. So again, very valuable opportunity. It's also a very good opportunity to make new contacts and be more involved in the field with all of these seminars we go to and things like that, events in the common room. You get to meet a lot of people. Sometimes there's people coming from the outside of the university on purpose to give certain presentations and seminars. So it's very good, valuable opportunity. You feel a lot more involved. You get to meet all these new people. It's very good. And lastly, it's been a very valuable opportunity to gain extra experience in all sorts of things. You've got the chance to do all sorts of different volunteer work, and there's also some paid opportunities for other things. I'm doing both really. I've got a paid opportunity, and I'm also volunteering to do a few different projects, like cleaning remains. Or helping recording graves. There's an excavation going on at the moment. Some of my friends are helping with it, so quite a lot of opportunities going on. Next slide, please. Thank you. In what comes to support from the department, there is a lot of support really available for whatever you need, really. If you need anything and if you ask, everybody will be more than willing to try to help with whatever they can. Sometimes if lecturers or any member of staff might think you need help for any reason, they might mention it to you and ask if there's anything that you might need. So it's a very good net support, which is good to know it's there, even if you don't need it at any point. It's just a good safety blanket to know it's there. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Well, thank you very, very much. And that is, yeah, I'd emphasize that point when you arrive in the department, do chat to your course director. You will meet them very early on for a one-to-one meeting. Do tell them what things you want to get out of the course, what you're interested in, what your background is, and what your ambitions are, what you'd like to do with your year, what you'd like to do after it. So Yeah, big thank you for coming along. Much appreciated. Some of you it's morning, some of you it's evening. So thank you so much. It's really appreciated. If you have any questions at all, you have my email. You can see that in the chat bar. Do email me. And as I say, do get in contact with your course director. If you're interested in a particular course, we won't hear about your application until you arrive. So we love it when students get in touch with us directly. Any question you like on anything is a good question. So if there's nothing else, excellent. Well, I wish you all a very good evening or a very good morning. Have a fantastic summer. And otherwise, yeah, we'll hope to see you in October, whether this year or in a future year.